Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you, not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bowden here with you.
Welcome, guys. Scotty Bonin here with you.
We are
The Blood Brothers.
And
The Rocket Joe.
What? AKA John Crockett.
Hello.
Rob is out of commission this episode.
He is traveling south for stuff.
So we have our good friend John Crockett. You guys have heard us talk about John before as our acting coach and
Down from Denver, from D-Town.
Exactly. So
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yes, that's right. He listens to all the episodes.
Rob is stuck on the road doing survey work, and
He's getting bit in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no internet, no microphone.
He said
you know.
the internet was super shitty and he wouldn't be able to get on the episode. So,
And we're bummed because Rob really liked this movie, and it's okay, but we have John there, so
Happy
got
to be
John.
here.
Got
Yes.
John.
Be here.
And Scotty's up on that mic just like
here,
a
let me-
freaking.
I like
on it.
to. I like to really get close to round things.
He loves
towards
his
my
mouth around round black tips.
Yep.
You just need to back that
Is
off.
that better?
There you
Is
go.
that better? Okay.
The BB.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I got a little
loud
excited
there.
there because we're doing Bone
Tomahawk. Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk.
Shout out to Taylor Morgan for making this
Taylor
episode
Morgan.
possible.
Boom, Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk. Now, I know a lot
Let's
of you
just say that
guys-
the whole time.
I know.
Don't even do a podcast.
I know that some of you are going, that's not a cult classic horror movie, but it will be.
Yet.
Oh.
It's not
Yet.
one yet.
Not yet.
And is it a horror movie? I don't know. Is it?
It's a horror, western, suspense,
Yeah.
drama. It's everything
Thriller.
and nothing all at once.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
everything
I
wrapped
agree.
in
That's
Western horror, cannibalistic.
All of these things
That's
and none
deep.
of these things. That's what I bring to the show. I bring a philosophizer.
Yes.
A deeper meaning.
There's
to
drama
everything.
and adventure in it. There's
And I
everything
just
wrapped
bring
in
the dick
one.
jokes.
Comedy. There's comedy.
There's comedy.
Richard Jenkins
There
is
is
the
comedy.
comic relief.
God,
Yeah.
he's just the best storyteller of all time.
The flea circus story.
I love his stories.
I gotta say that Richard Jenkins is one of those guys that he's just in things.
He is.
And I can't ever.
He's in a lot.
I can't really even right now pinpoint another movie that he's in, but I know he's in a ton of
The
movies.
Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water.
Okay, well I haven't seen The Shape of Water.
Step Brothers.
Friends with Benefits.
Step Brothers, that's right.
Yeah.
Step Brothers.
Was
Step
he- yeah,
Brothers.
he was like
Yep.
always kind of the funny dad or guy, but
That's
now he's
right.
getting some more like Shape of
God,
Water,
he's-
Bone Tomahawk, a little more of featured roles.
No, and when I rewatched the first time I watched this, I knew he did a good job, but I was just taking the movie in, and I just watched it for the second time a couple nights ago, and his performance really stood out. Like he fucking killed
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
did
He was really good. He was really
Yeah.
good.
He was really good in Shape of Water. He's got like
I need to see that.
some good
That one,
moments.
Best Picture.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, did.
Yeah.
We need to watch that one. I heard he did it really good. I think he was up for best or maybe supporting actor.
Supporting actor.
Yeah, for
Was
that.
he?
So he was in Let Me In. I just saw that horror movie.
Really?
Remember Let Me In?
Yeah,
Yeah. God, he's been in tons of stuff.
yeah, I remember that was with Chloe Moretz.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, he was in
Right, that was
Cabin.
a remake of it for the French one that was called
Yeah.
Let the Right One In. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, I think so. He played the father in Let Me In. That was 2010. And was that Chloe Moretz?
Isn't it
God,
Chloe
you're good.
Grace Moretz?
You're good with names,
Chloe
man.
Grace
Yep, you're right. Yeah, that's right. It is.
Yeah, she was younger then. Obviously,
God,
she looks
she's-
more like a little
Oh,
kid.
he was in Cabin in the Woods.
Yep, Cabin in the
What?
Woods.
He was the other controller guy.
Oh, okay, Cabin in the Woods. I was
the
thinking
controller
Cabin Fever
guys.
for
The
some reason.
Cabin
in the Woods. Along with Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
Hemsworth. God, Chloe Grace Moretz was Carrie. Was in the remake of Carrie.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Gosh, she's hot, man.
Well, yeah, but back when she
fifth
was
wave.
in Let Me In, she was like
She was
A little
she
girl.
was like 10 years old.
Well, she was in Kick-Ass, remember?
Oh,
She
yeah,
was like
yeah,
super
yeah.
young.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And
Yep.
that was kind of controversial because it was really violent.
That's right.
They were like, she's kind of young for that, don't you
Kind of
think?
sexual and violent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. Now she's booking everything, and God, it's crazy.
So Richard Jenkins blew my mind. And well, didn't you say something before when we were talking about how he shot some things, then he wasn't going to be available?
Yeah.
So they like recast the part, but then he was able to come back or something?
Yeah, I think I had that note here. Yeah, it was. You probably have it too, huh?
Yeah, I got
John.
it.
Yeah.
I think it was just an IMDb.
Oh yeah.
thing.
So
I don't know.
Jim Broadbent. That's right.
I don't even know who that
Jim
is.
Broadbent replaced Richard Jenkins for a few months when the project was delayed, and then Jenkins was then recast in the role once it resumed on.
Who's this Jim Broadbent?
Jim Broadbent.
Gangs in New York.
Oh yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
I would have to see a.
Was he in Harry
There he
Potter?
is.
I
Let me
think
see
he
a
was in
picture.
Harry Potter.
He was in Harry Potter.
Okay,
Yeah,
he was
Harry
in
Potter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You just rewatched all of those.
I just watched all the Harry Potters.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I remember him. Yeah, Moulin Rouge.
Jim Broadbent.
Another
there it
year.
is.
That's an interesting choice. That's not bad.
Yeah, he probably would have been good.
He's
Yeah.
British, though.
Isn't he? He looks a little overweight in that picture.
A little bit. He's
so I don't know if
British.
that would have played as well.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have slimmed
I
up.
sort
for
of like
it.
the
That's-
withered.
That's funny, though, because that's classic. Like, Richard Jenkins gets it, then he can't do it.
Yeah.
So Jim gets it, and then it comes back around, and Jim can't do it. So Richard gets it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that classic Hollywood craziness.
yeah. That's. I mean, just anyone could be cast in anything,
Well, and who
and
was,
people like.
they were looking at what's his name instead of Patrick Wilson?
Timothy Oliphant,
Well, and also
who was was
yeah,
awesome.
Timothy Oliphant was going to play Brooder.
Oh, Matthew
John
Fox.
Brooder.
what,
Yeah,
show me a
Matthew
picture.
Fox's part.
Who's Timothy? I know
Timothy
the name.
Oliphant.
I know the name. I
You
just
know,
can't.
he's another one.
Who's-
He's
He's in
in-
Hitman.
Let me look
He's-
him up. Oh,
there he is.
Hitman. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hitman.
But what was his Western? He's in a Western.
Yeah,
Was he in Deadwood?
I think so.
I don't know.
He was in the
I never watched
Crazies.
Deadwood.
Crazies.
Deadwood. Yeah. I think so.
My dad told me I should watch that. I never.
Deadwood.
have.
Yes, he was in
Deadwood.
Deadwood. He
You'd
played
like
Seth Bullock in Deadwood.
Whenever I
And he
hear
was in
Deadwood.
another Western. He was in a Western TV show.
Oh.
Yeah. He would have been good as
He would have
Brooder.
been good. But I thought
Yeah.
Matthew Fox was pretty awesome.
I loved Matthew Fox.
did
I
good.
don't. I
It's
mean,
one of his best performances that
Well,
I've
'cause
seen. Obviously,
he's kind of like fancier and handsomer
Yeah.
than Timothy
Yeah.
Oliphant.
Yeah.
So he pulls off the that the fancy suit
Yeah.
that he's wearing instead of just like
I
the
just-
normal.
and you guys notice,
I just-
every time he took off his hat, he made sure his hair was like nice
the
and
hat.
combed.
Oh yeah, his hair was always combed.
and his hat was on straight, and
That was a cool part.
Did the crease, yeah.
When they leave, he steps away from the saloon
Oh yeah, he's the last one to leave.
and he's like
Yeah.
adjusts his hat.
yeah.
Make sure it's nice before he leaves.
I also liked him a lot because he just has come out of nowhere again. I feel like.
I feel like this cast is just monster.
Yeah, but I feel like he's come out of nowhere. He hasn't even really come out yet because this movie wasn't even really a big release or anything
Right.
like that. Like we're only watching. It was in 2015. I didn't watch this thing till 4 months ago or 3 months ago.
Well, in that featurette, as Craig Zoller has said, this is a Matthew Fox I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And he really did. He was just outstanding.
I only know him from Lost. That's all I know him from before.
Party of Five.
Party of Five.
Really?
He
What
was
else
the-
was he in?
Hashtag Denver Hair Horn.
Denver
he
Hair Horn.
was he was the older brother in Party of Five.
I never watched Party of Five.
I did not watch Party of Five either.
Oh.
But I'm familiar with the show.
Yeah, I remember it was like Party 5, 90210.
I would say Lost is his biggest
Yeah, that's
credit.
Jack Shepard.
That's
But
all
he's
I know
worked
him
a
from.
lot. World
Yeah.
War Z, Extinction, Smoking Aces.
World War Z. Wait,
Vantage
did you
Point.
say Extinction is a different movie? I mean,
Yeah.
different.
Okay, I didn't know if they made like a stupid, unknown sequel called World War
No.
Z Extinction.
World War Z with Brad Pitt. with Brad Pitt.
I did not.
That's awesome.
I didn't realize he was in that movie. I didn't remember him
He
being
played
in
a
that.
parajumper in World War Z.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys in that the parajumper stuff.
Okay.
where they
We Are Marshall. He was
We Are
in.
Marshall. Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
been
watch
in a
that.
bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smoking Aces. I really like Smoking Aces.
He's in
Yeah.
that too.
If you ever saw
Bill's the
It's been a long
security
time.
super.
Security
It's been a long time since I
he plays the nerdy, supervisor, security guy.
wasn't there some like issues with him and domestic violence or something? I thought someone said that.
I think that's what Rob was saying, wasn't he?
That's why he
Maybe.
maybe disappeared a little bit.
I don't know if that's true. We're not starting rumors here. I'm just wondering if someone said that or not.
We could probably look it up. Maybe John's on it. No.
Oh, he was a smoker. He said on Ellen DeGeneres that he was going to quit smoking.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So so Timothy Oliphant was up for John Bruder, but they got Matthew Fox. Peter Sarsgaard, that is in Magnificent Seven, the bad guy in Magnificent Seven, was up for Patrick Wilson's part as Arthur O'Dwyer. But then they got Patrick Wilson, and then Jennifer Carpenter was going to play Samantha O'Dwyer, which is Patrick Wilson's wife.
Yeah.
Then they got Lily Simmons, I think it is. So
I don't know if I could.
Yeah, because he likes her.
he likes Jennifer. Craig Zoller likes Carpenter.
Jennifer Carpenter.
Likes
Because
Jennifer
she's in
Carpenter
Brawl.
a lot.
Yeah.
There is some stuff. Matthew Fox detained, accused of assaulting women. Then he says, "I've never hit a woman before." Then a lost co-star claims that she witnessed it.
So he's basically
a little bit of controversy.
He's basically
there.
just like doing things that Burt Young got away with back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Or James Brolin.
James Brolin.
Yeah. Or that any actor in the 70s
While
got away
filming
with.
Amityville.
Or
Both of them.
even nowadays.
Yeah, Zoller likes Carpenter a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's interesting. I like her.
I mean, we all just watched Brawl and Cell Block 99 too. And
Yes.
we can bring that up, I guess.
Which
but-
is Zoller's second directorial
Second.
debut.
Yeah, even
and
though
this is his first
apparently
directorial debut.
Apparently he wrote Brawl before Bone Tomahawk, but
Yeah.
then made Bone Tomahawk first, is what I read.
Yeah.
So
He wrote Bone Tomahawk in 2007, and then Cell Block was written after,
wait,
right?
Oh, yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
he said he was sitting on that script forever.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Well,
You
he-
sit on it.
you sit on it
And
forever.
I guess he's a novelist too. I was
yeah.
looking at his bio.
That's right.
Well, you see, that's what I wanted. His directorial debut, and he gets Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, Richard Jenkins, like this monster cast.
Name off that. Keep naming it off. We got tons
David
of.
Arquette,
Yeah,
Sid Haig,
Yeah.
James Tolkien,
Yep.
the piano player who is the principal in Back to the Future.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Catherine Morris, who's been in a ton of stuff. A lot of other people you recognize. Zon McClarnon, who's the Native American guide
Yeah.
friend.
Yep.
He was in Longmire.
Okay.
God, he's been in a bunch. And
Sean Young is like the monster out of nowhere surprise. Sean Young,
Which one? Who?
Mrs. Porter. She plays like the mayor's wife.
Oh,
Remember?
Yeah, she had a
She's
small,
in it for like
3 lines.
2 minutes.
What
Yeah.
is she in?
That's Sean Young. She's Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
But what
Yeah,
else?
that's
What
right.
else?
Blade
And
Runner.
I know what you're thinking. Laces out, Daddy.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
right.
what I was thinking.
She's in
She was
Pet
Ace
Detective.
Ventura,
Pet
Ace Ventura,
Detective.
Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
Pet Detective. Yep.
That's what I was thinking
Then
of.
Eric Chavaria plays Ramiro, one of the Mexicans that gets the Manifest Destiny taught to him.
Oh yeah.
He was a comic guy you recognize. He was in, most recently, he was in doing comedy in Office Christmas Party.
Okay, I haven't watched that. I haven't
Say that
seen
line.
one.
Say Richard Jenkins' favorite line.
That was Richard Jenkins' favorite line from the whole thing.
It was.
Mr. Broder just educated 2 Mexicans on the meaning of manifest destiny.
Just sublime.
I will agree. I think it was a good script.
I like the first one here on IMDb is say goodbye to my wife and I'll say hello to yours.
Yeah.
That was Kurt Russell at the very end when he was impaled.
I just like how it goes with Craig Zoller's style. The way they're all delivered too. They're just delivered very matter of factly, very all the lines.
Richard Jenkins said it in the little doc, but I felt it too. It just feels very authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's how they would
Like-
talk, what they would say, how it would go.
What else does Kurt Russell says something else? He says I have or I am or something, and that's it. In that same section. So what does he say?
I shall. That's what Matthew Fox. I shall.
It's
I
like
shall.
Patrick Wilson is like blah blah. Are you gonna live? He's like, I am not, or something,
I'm not.
or it's just very matter of factly, very just.
Is there anything you can do for me? Hand me that rifle or whatever.
I think this is a real good example of S. Craig Zahler's writing and writing to the times too, because in all of these dialogue-driven scenes, especially like when he's saying goodbye to his wife or when he's talking to his wife, just this all, will not have words on it. Well, it's just all written very authentic for the time period.
I feel like they never used contractions.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say I won't. It's like I will not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you? I cannot go there. I can't. Like nobody said can't.
No.
There was no
Yeah.
contractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Data in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Star Trek. Come on, do it.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Star Trek.
No use of contractions.
Well, I think that's how S. Craig Zahler got all these actors. That he sent them all the script, and they all read it and loved it, and like, well, how can I not be in this? This is just amazing.
In his credit list, you guys have it up, but he did other films, not as a director though.
He wrote before, and he was an award-winning novelist.
Yeah.
So they read. So Kurt Russell, I think, was a fan of his novels.
Yeah, I actually have a note here. His novel Wraiths of the Broken Land. Kurt Russell read the novel that as Craig Zahler wrote, saying it was that Zahler is a fabulous storyteller whose style catapults his reader into the turn of the century West with a ferocious sense of authenticity. And that phrase is written on the back of his book, of that book. So he was
a fan.
Yeah, he's a fan of S. Craig
his
Zahler
work, and then he wrote the screenplay, and they all read it. Yeah, they everybody loved it. Patrick Wilson was like, it's like you don't get these very often.
Yeah, you don't see a script like this come around often. Yeah, so it's
and I think that's what you like too, Danny. Is that story? The way he tells the story is like there's very little score. There's like no soundtrack. It's just like a lot of ambient sound, a lot of quiet. Like they only talk when they have to.
Yeah,
there's nothing extraneous.
That's exactly what I was thinking after the second time I watched it. I'm like, thinking of myself in these situations, and I would just be talking 8 times as much, Yeah. And actually, I don't know, maybe in real life people would be too, but it's so simplistic the way they wrote the script that it makes it entertaining.
It's 2 hours and 12 minutes, and the script's like 6 pages.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. God,
it's all exposition.
It's a longer movie. Yeah, there's a lot of exposition throughout the whole thing, and barely any music. There's a note here. The first draft of the script was the final movie, so there was no other drafts.
That's insane.
Yeah, the final movie represents the first draft of the script, so he must have.
And I know in that featurette, the producer was like, "We're doing what you want to do. Like this is your vision."
Mm-hmm.
That's just, that's amazing. Yeah. First time director. This cast.
Yeah.
For producers to be like, just do what you want to do, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the money.
And was it S. Craig Zahler they were talking to in that featurette that was mentioned a producer and said he basically financed most of this out of pocket?
Yeah, there was some dude.
Dallas Sonnier or something, I think, because he ended it, and he said he just believed in his vision, his direction, and
I wonder
went all in with
if he even made any money back on that, or his money on it.
Still writing this off.
Yeah.
His 2017
You gotta write it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the budget was $1.8 million.
That's so small.
I know.
21 days.
21 days, yeah.
What I don't understand. So 21 days? Is that
they shot it in 21
I don't understand.
And they said it was a tight schedule, 21 days with 70 locations.
I don't understand how you get Kurt Russell to work 21 days on a film without paying him alone $10 million.
They worked for scale. They had to work for scale.
They had to work for scale.
If it's a full SAG feature, then that's what, like $900 a day.
Yeah,
is the base rate. Mm-hmm. So they paid him there. Well, that's what they did on the last Indiana Jones movie, Crystal Skull. The studio was like, we're not giving you a ton of money. So like everybody worked for scale. Mm-hmm. So like Harrison Ford worked for the SAG day rate.
Really?
And Steven Spielberg worked for the director's day rate. Mm-hmm. And the studio said, once we recoup our money after that, then we'll start paying you guys out like a huge percentage. But they're like,
Really?
we must
Yeah.
recoup our money first.
What did they?
And now
did
they're
they just
getting
not
that.
have that much money at the time?
They just didn't want to take a chance. You know, the
Yeah.
studios don't. That's the thing about these movies. Like, you see tiny micro budget movies, or you see ridiculously huge budget movies.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
not that much in between anymore.
It's crazy.
I just can't, because you know that a big studio looking to cast Kurt Russell is going to offer him like 12, 15 million, 12, 10, 12, I don't know.
Well, like
Kurt Russell. I bet he's like 5 or 6.
You
would
think
be
so?
his asking price
5 or
for a
6.
major motion picture.
Yeah.
But I mean, sure, they all just work for scale. You got to watch the featurette, listeners.
the feature.
Because
It's
Patrick Wilson,
10-minute
like-
feature.
Free on YouTube.
It's free. Yeah, just watch it on YouTube. It's 10 minutes, but they like the actors are gushing over
Oh yeah.
the script.
Yeah.
And how much they love. Like Patrick Wilson is like blowing
he
Craig
loves
Zoller
it.
through the script.
Yeah. Same with Matthew Fox.
He is. Yep.
And so they like when they want to do it.
Yeah.
And they say, this is what we can offer you.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Matthew Fox said this is the most fun he had making any movie that he's ever been in. He enjoyed this the most, and he said he always wanted to be in a Western.
Yeah.
And he said they'd wake up, they'd go to sleep like midday, and they'd wake up at 5 p.m. at night to do the night shoots. And he said they'd all look at each other and be like, "We're shooting a Western, guys." Yeah.
Kurt
So they
Russell's
were
like,
just
I've
so
been in like
excited.
12 of these.
Yeah. Kurt Russell's
like, yes, I am.
But that's his. I think that's Kurt Russell's favorite. That's his niche type.
Well, he
that's
says he
his
loves the
favorite.
Westerns,
That's his
yeah.
favorite thing to be
Funny.
Yeah.
He's so good at everything, though.
in. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Russell.
I do like him.
Like what? Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
Yeah.
playing the dad.
Oh yeah,
He's just
We just
awesome.
saw him in Deepwater Horizon. He was really good in that. He's like the main
Yeah,
Coast Guard guy.
Who's the other guy in it? It's Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
That's
Wahlberg.
right, it's Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg.
See, they probably paid.
That's a big
Kurt
budget.
Russell.
Yeah,
like
He probably got
5
5
million,
or 6 for that.
yeah.
movie.
At least.
Oh, yeah.
And
But
Mark
he's-
Wahlberg probably got like
20,
18 or 20. Yeah.
20.
But he's willing to go down to this, and do a Western for just scale.
It's the script, Scotty.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's
The story. It's about the story.
that's
He
just
says
crazy.
it's storytelling.
Yeah.
That's
See,
just crazy.
and now that Rob's not on with us, we can just hype up Tombstone, how good he was in
Oh,
Tombstone.
Tombstone was awesome.
Way better than Wyatt Earp. You hear that, Rob?
Rob.
Way better than Wyatt Earp.
I hope Rob's listening because
He is.
I'm massively confused. And I
We
want
love you,
know
Rob.
what? I don't ever want to come on when Rob's on, so we can like duel while we're not on with each other. But this is what baffles me about the Rob is like Mr. Brooks is an amazing movie if you've never seen it. It's Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, yeah.
But it's a great cast. It's kind of like this, like small movie, amazing cast, awesome movie. And the Rob loves it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, so you like other good movies like Tombstone? He's like, it's garbage.
Garbage.
Like, wait a minute. Tombstone is like one of the best. Everybody reveres Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
As one of the best.
Tombstone's-
Like everybody, like my father-in-law loves it. My,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
my cousin loves it. Like everybody loves Tombstone.
It's only because it's in direct competition with a Costner movie.
Because he
which
likes
is total. You ask any person off the street how awesome Tombstone is, and they're going to say it's amazing. And then you're going to say, "What do you think of Wyatt Earp?" And they're going to go, "That's a movie."
Yeah.
Or they're going to confuse Wyatt Earp with Tombstone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've never seen the whole thing.
He likes
I've never
Costner's Wyatt
seen all
Earp. He likes Costner's
seen it.
Wyatt Earp compared to Kurt Russell's.
That makes no sense.
Dennis Quaid
Dennis
compared to
Quaid,
Val Kilmer.
Well, what I
Yeah.
do not know.
Oh god.
He's doing like this It's like he's doing an SNL impersonation of Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday.
Yeah. See, Rob would be butting in right now, making some. He'd be claiming his case right now.
I want to hear it next week.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll have to address
will.
that.
I've
You
heard
will.
it. I've heard it.
Yeah,
I
you have
know
heard
his
it.
arguments. That's what I don't get. I'll give him Mr. Brooks all
Yeah.
day long.
So-
and many Costner movies. Dan.
yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
love Costner too.
Costner's
I like
good.
Costner a
I
lot
like
too.
Costner.
So, but we're just saying, Kurt Russell is that Western. I mean, Tombstone, and I mean even Hateful Eight. He was
Hateful
great,
Eight,
and this.
Wasn't the beard held over from Hateful Eight?
Yeah, or it was held over into Hateful Eight, I think is what it was. I think that's what it was. I think
Like
this
they
was
were in-
first.
This was first, and
Yeah.
he had the beard going.
Yeah, and then he left it for Hateful Eight. Is what
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went down.
He
Yeah.
just looks so legit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
as
You
the
can't.
guy.
Yeah, you can't find a more
he's got like
perfect sheriff.
almost the handlebar mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got the
It's
nitty
like,
gritty
yeah,
look.
the stills online are just, it's like him, and you're like,
Yeah.
if you like took a sepia photo of him doing it and you like put it on the wall, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's like 100 years old.
Yeah, that's when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the guy.
That's what's going on.
I just want to go to like Aspen and run into him in like the grocery store.
Yeah, does he still live up there?
I think
he has a house in Aspen.
He still has a house with Goldie Hawn
Him
up
and Golden,
in Aspen.
yeah.
And like Kate Hudson would. What they liked was, I heard, I don't know if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the validities of these rumors, but like that they
Continue.
used to go skiing as a family, and they really enjoyed it because they were wearing like masks and all the gear, and they could just go skiing.
No one would-
and like nobody would bother them.
Yeah.
So they like loved skiing as a family because it's something they could do out and about and not get hassled.
Yeah,
Really?
get hounded.
That's what I heard.
Well, that makes sense.
So they just got to make sure they're wearing a face mask or something.
Wearing it, yeah, you got to wear your
oh,
gaiter.
that's right.
I guess even if you had goggles on and he had a beard, you might not recognize Kurt
You
Russell.
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be looking for. Maybe if you were looking for
If
Kurt
you're like
Russell.
on the lift and you look
Yeah.
to your left, you're like, oh, hey, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, Bone
By the way,
Tomahawk,
Bone
man.
Tomahawk.
You
Bone
were
Tom-
fucking
I-
badass
the
in Bone
truth is, I
Tomahawk.
would.
You would.
I'd be
You know
like,
what? I
Bone
think you'd be
Like
like,
after all
thank
the
you.
movies he's been
Yeah.
in, Bone Tomahawk.
I think if you said it, if you're like, hey, man, Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk.
I think you'd just go.
He'd be like, yep. Yeah, it was
You know, you'd look
badass.
at you and say, I know.
Then I'd go.
I know.
Then I'd put
Word.
my earplugs back in.
And then Goldie Hawn would be like, oh, it was so gruesome. No, she probably.
It was
That's
gruesome.
right. Kate Hudson is Goldie Hawn's mom.
It's cold.
No, Kate Hudson is his daughter.
Kate Hudson
she?
is Goldie
Daughter.
Hawn's daughter, but not
Kurt Russell's.
Kurt Russell's.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Kurt
You
Russell's
didn't
not
know
the,
that. They look like exactly the same.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's not the dad. It's some other guy.
Correct.
Okay.
But they have a kid together, right? Don't they?
I don't
Kurt
think
Russell
Kurt
and
Russell and Goldie
Hawn?
Hawn. I don't think they ever got married, actually.
That's right. It says partners on Wikipedia, but not spouse. So
Yeah.
that was kind of weird.
I don't think they ever technically got married. Because I think they had like kind of rough marriages
Okay.
before that. And
So they're like, let's just be partners.
I love you, but I don't need to get married.
Yeah.
Is that a gong?
That was.
That was this.
Oh,
So we're picking up all this. We got this three of us in studio.
we're in the studio
And
today.
so we're
In the
picking
studio.
up. We've never used this setup before. We're picking up all this background noise that we usually don't.
like it.
So.
Yeah. It's
I'm
nice
here.
to be all in the same room. Usually Rob's in
Yeah.
from Tallahassee. So.
Oh
my God! Speaking of Tallahassee.
background noise,
God.
holy
damn it.
Jesus! Did you hear that loud ass
Oh
sound?
my God! That
piercing.
wasn't even a gong. That was like a high pitched
Dear God!
Squeal.
That
squeal.
means it's time
It was,
for the
it was like somebody got ripped in half.
Yeah. Like
wishbone.
Yeah, like ripped in half with a bone tomahawk. God.
That means it's time for the
horror
horror
halftime. Do, 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 do.
Oh, yeah, we did Rob?
Oh yeah.
Do, 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 do.
You guys think it's Rocky, but I think Rob is doing the game show.
The Price is Right.
No,
Yeah.
where they ding.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's Steve Harvey. Steve
Yes.
Harvey.
The survey says.
Survey
yeah, I know.
says,
I know what you're talking
what the
about.
fuck's it's the Steve Harvey one.
That one.
That's the one.
I think that's what the
now
Rob
we
is
know,
doing.
Rob. Yep.
I don't know.
Not The Price is Right now. I just said that.
The survey says. Why can't I think of it?
My wife always watches it. Here I'll just look it up right now.
Well,
Let's
he's
get to the
looking
horror
that
halftime.
up, we do have a winner. We have some awesome participants that participate every week, and so I don't want to I thank you guys. Lance Dale had some funny ass ones. David Martin, as always. Dave Forbes. You guys are awesome. So, so keep it up. But let's get some new blood in here. We got one. So the horror freak of the week is John Powers.
Oh, sorry.
John Powers.
Mr. Powers.
Horror freak of the
Yes.
week for his Robert Carlyle Church of Satan meme.
Yes.
Check it out.
Rob Carlyle.
So yeah, John, shoot us a message on the page on Facebook or DM us on Twitter, either way, and we'll get you some gear. But yeah, you guys need to participate. So let's get some more memes in there. Bone Tomahawk. God, there's some.
Please, guys.
There
Get
are
some memes, man.
There's a lot of good opportunities with this film.
Split
here.
your wig.
Yeah. What?
He splits his wig. Well, anyways.
Got it. Anyways.
Scalping and bone tomahawks
anyways.
and all this good
So
stuff.
yes, submit that or go to Facebook, join the Cold Classic Horror group, submit your meme there, or you can submit it on Twitter, #horror halftime. Tag us at CC Horror, and we'll see it. So, All right, that concludes the horror half.
It's the Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
That's what I
okay.
think the
That's-
Rob has been doing all these months.
And I see it like every other night. Liz plays it, and I hear that music playing in my head. I'm like, that's what Rob's doing. Yeah. Now I remember.
So Bone Tomahawk.
2015.
2015.
2015.
I mean, it all happens so fast at the end. It's like all happens within 15 minutes.
Well, even the beginning happens so quick. Like, it starts and David Arquette's slicing some guy's throat, and it's like, what the fuck's going on?
kicks
So
in
that
pretty
does
fast.
kick in pretty good.
It kicks in.
Yeah.
The very beginning kicks
And
in
I
fast.
think him and Sid Haig did a good job.
Yeah.
I like Sid Haig in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
He's kind of comforting.
I think it was a combination of the way he's delivering it and also the way it was written. But he had some unique, like he was memorable, you know, for such a small part. And it was, I think it is the way it was written. And Sid
Tend to
Haig,
the task.
I wouldn't necessarily call Sid Haig like the best actor in the world, but he was just delivering these lines, I don't know how to
Kind of
really,
comforting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Humbly.
He said stick to the task. He was just focused.
Stick to the task.
Focused on his goal.
Stick to the task.
Help me up.
Stick to the task.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just brought out the script real
Yeah.
well. If that makes
And
any sense.
Arquette wandered onto the set again.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of
But
course,
he was
did.
good.
Yeah. Why do they always wet themselves like that?
I'm not
No.
like I don't feel like he's out of place.
No,
No.
Arquette was
He was
good.
pretty good.
He was very similar to his character in Ravenous.
That's right.
Similar. Yeah, actually, very
So
similar.
Arquette's been in 2 Western cannibal movies, and
Yeah.
not many people can say that. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's not still with like Courtney Cox. Right?
I don't think they're still together.
Did that whole thing happen because of Scream? Is that how they?
I think they got together after Scream.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar.
Dewey.
Dewey. That's right.
Deputy Dewey.
Deputy Dewey,
Right.
the cop.
Gale Weathers.
Gale Weathers.
We'll have to cover Scream one of these
Well,
times.
the Rob
Yeah.
doesn't like the Scream.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
but we still gotta cover
get a lot of requests
I
for
like
it.
Scream.
Yeah.
I do too. I think it's a classic.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
We'll cover it. We'll cover it.
We will. We will.
Yeah. You got Matthew Lillard I just love Matthew Lillard in some things.
Yeah.
I saw him like on a sitcom my wife was watching the other day. Isn't he on like a show now or something that I don't know. It doesn't
I
fit him.
haven't seen Lillard
If
in
he's
so
not
long.
if he's not
Haven't seen
playing a crazy guy in a gory movie, then I don't.
Yeah,
know
he's
if I dig
good.
it.
Or
His
Scooby Doo.
his sweater.
Well, yeah, Scooby. I guess he
Doo.
was okay as Scooby Doo.
Supernatural.
Was he in Supernatural? I don't think that's what I saw him in though. I think he was
Good Girls. Oh, the Good Girls.
Good Girls. Maybe
He's in the one with
It's a
Seth
new
Green
sitcom.
and Dax Shepard too.
maybe it is Good Girl with who?
Seth Green and
up a
Dax.
Creek.
No,
Or Without a
Without a
Paddle.
Paddle?
Without a paddle.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Without a paddle.
I
Yep.
like him the best in SLC Punk.
I've never
Oh,
seen.
yeah, yeah.
I've never seen SLC Punk. Yeah, everyone says I look like Dax Shepard.
Little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
When
I'd
you're
say that.
not smiling, when you're just sitting there and you're kind of like just staring or stoic,
Yeah.
you kind of look like Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought
Yeah.
that. I thought that.
Take that. Take that.
it. Yeah.
Maybe Shan looks like Kristen Bell too. Kind of.
Sorta.
Yeah.
There is a three-toed
He
sloth.
sorta
in the-
does
Yeah.
actually.
There's a
little
sloth
bit.
in the corner. I didn't want to tell anybody.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Three-toed sloth.
Three-toed sloth.
She's really into three-toed sloths.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I'm a plethora of ridiculous, unnecessary pop
They-
culture knowledge.
All right. All
Da-
right.
Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell went to Africa, and they filmed a video of all the animals with the Africa song.
Toto.
Toto. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
All right. All right.
Anyways, but
anyways, I've said this like 4 times before on other episodes when we're not talking about Bone Tomahawk, but now we are.
Wishbone.
The wishbone, just this whole section, it all starts with the hand chop off, and it's so brutal.
you're talking about the end.
Yeah, because there's no, like I said, it just happens. It just happens.
It happens fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so do the arrows when they come in. The arrows come in fast.
Yeah.
The hand chop off happens
Well,
fast.
when he's looking through the telescope and the rocks just hit him in the head out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah. Well, yeah.
Exactly.
That's
The
what
rock,
happens.
then
Yeah.
the arrow takes off a flap of skin. Richard
Yeah.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
And then the hand just I rewinded it 3 times this
Me
last
too.
time. The hand just gets chopped off.
He's just
chopped off.
decapitated.
Yeah.
That's great makeup though too on Richard
Yeah.
Jenkins' forehead.
Yeah.
It looks super real and
Yeah.
it's like really consistent throughout the rest of it.
Yeah, no, they did a good job with that. And then on second viewing, I thought it was weird that they would give up the repeater to Matthew Fox, because they're moving forward. He's pretty much dead. And he's like, just leave me the repeater.
I'm too vain to
you know?
live as a
I kind
crippled.
of thought that too. Why didn't they leave
And then,
him the repeater?
But then I guess it sort of fits in because when they bring him in, the cannibal has the repeater and he figures it out and shoots Kurt Russell. And
I am a little curious if you feel like we have one hole here.
Ooh, no holes. No
Tom
holes.
Atkins isn't in it. So.
I'm a little confused. Like why now? Why now are they cruising down into this town?
I think they tried to make it have something to do with Arquette and Sid Haig being up there first.
And Arquette's there now in Bright Hope. He
Bright
went
Hope.
back to Bright Hope.
I think that on my second viewing, I got more of a hint, couple lines, a couple things that was like blaming it on them. But I don't think they did a real good job of somehow connecting it to them. You know what I mean?
That is Arquette's fault.
I heard
because he's in
I
Bright
don't-
Hope.
Brought the
I don't know-
troglodytes.
Troglodytes.
I don't
that's
know
right.
the exact line,
The Indian
but he said
troglodytes.
something about fucking with their sacred burial ground.
Yeah, he messes with it.
Yeah.
He walks
trips
through
over-
that
he
skull.
trips
Trips over
trips
the
over it hard.
knocks the rocks over.
and
then-
like the skulls go falling
So
down.
then they follow him into Bright Hope,
I think that's.
and then they're like,
Let's take.
clean,
Yeah.
tasty flesh and Bright Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
And then he goes by Sid Haig's name, Buddy. God, that scene with Buddy getting shot in the throat with the arrow, it's just out of nowhere. You're like,
Yeah.
I thought when he took it out, I didn't realize that it was like a really ornate arrow. I thought it was
Yeah.
like his Adam's apple.
I thought it was
Yeah.
too. It was like a round.
But then you see the other Native American guy like holding it, and you're like, oh, that's like this ivory,
Oh yeah.
beautiful, like
Yeah.
3-dimensional, like swirly
Yeah.
tip of an
Yeah.
arrow.
Yeah, it was crazy
And you're
looking.
like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was how did you man? Did you like? Was this? How were you allowed to watch this movie? By the way,
I
yeah.
with the kid, with the
How'd the
kids
wifey
there,
and the
wife-
full
full
kids let you-
disclosure. So there's the Velociraptor in the back, which is Stella, but my
Yes.
daughter's 3.5, and so I waited. Everybody went to bed, and I kind of hung, like I was like doing dishes, and I was like, no, go ahead, go to bed, you go to bed. And then I was doing dishes, and I was kind of finished. I was like, I'll just fold some laundry while I watch this movie. And then my wife's like, okay, I'll go to bed. And then so yeah, I went to bed at like 1.
Last night.
Last night, which is a little later than I usually go to. But I snuck in I snuck in Brawl at Cell Block
99.
over
Brawl at
the
Cell Block
weekend
99.
while I was in Winter Park.
Oh yeah.
nice.
Well, how'd you? That seems harder.
No, you know what? Everybody went to the pool, but my youngest, my son, he had a bit of a fever, so it was like, he better not go to the pool. So I was like, I'll stay here with him. So I like hung out with him and just watched Brawl. Actually, I'm not like at the TV. I like hooked up the iPad to the TV.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
Did he watch
But
it with you?
Well, no, he was like asleep.
I guess he's so young.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's
Yeah.
11 months.
Yeah.
old.
Because that movie's got some
That's
gruesome
some
in it
brutal
too.
stuff. But like I was torn in the moment. I was like, watch Brawl or watch Bone Tomahawk. And I was like, I kind of had to watch Cell Block in kind of section, like 2 sections.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to watch Bone Tomahawk
All in one.
all in one, undivided attention.
Yeah.
And you watched it last night, so it's more fresh in your head.
It's all here.
You
I
got
didn't
here.
take any notes. You guys,
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
got a little
can't
bit
see.
of notes.
I actually didn't take the notes.
There's no
this
video
time.
on the pre-show or the show here, but
No.
the Boner Boys both are very fastidious.
We got
with their
some
Got my
notes
notebook.
here.
We're gonna auction these off one of these
When we're
times.
done.
And I
Yeah.
should have wrote because there was that one scene I was trying to talk to Scotty about in the pre-show.
Yeah.
If you want to Patreon that and listen
Yeah,
to our
you should
ramblings.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this part where like Kurt Russell does his Kurt Russell thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like
manly-
He's like, hell's coming, and I'm coming with it. Like he does that.
I'm
like,
coming.
And
hell's coming.
hell's coming with me. He does that in this movie,
Yeah.
just like not to that degree, a little bit, and
Uses
I could
the
not
voice.
remember where.
Which section of the movie it was?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. He kind of like because he
Yeah.
like yells at someone, like barks an order,
Yeah.
and he does it. That's the thing about Curry. Like he does it with such authority. You're like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
You
Like
got it.
like Rick Chicory always calls him.
Yeah,
So he's like,
Chicory.
Yeah.
Richard
Yeah.
Jenkins. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's like, yes sir.
Yes, sir. And he's older. But how much older
Yeah,
is Richard
he's-
Jenkins than Kurt Russell?
He's the assistant
I
deputy.
mean, they make him out to be a lot older.
They make him out like
obviously.
he's a lot older.
He's like,
Oh, Kurt Russell was born on St. Patty's Day, March 17th, 1951.
oh, nice. So he was. So let's see. Richard
So
Jenkins.
he's like 68. And Richard Jenkins was born in 47. So Richard Jenkins is only 4 years older than him.
Okay. Well,
And they make it like Richard Jenkins is like 20 years older.
yeah,
Yeah.
this old timer, old man that keeps
Old
calling
timer.
him.
His character is kind of funny. Like he's the assistant deputy, assistant sheriff, like the backup sheriff, and he's kind of like just like stooping down to Kurt Russell's role. It's just an interesting part. Like Kurt Russell felt bad for him, so he gave him the assistant sheriff part. You know,
Yeah,
which
backup
is cool.
deputy.
Yeah, backup deputy, which
He's
is
always
it's
there.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's good.
He-
If
he
it weren't for him, they wouldn't have found our cat out there.
No.
Yep. Yep.
Burying something.
He was on a ramble.
And
ramble.
Yeah,
I
on a
like that.
ramble.
and Richard Jenkins is the first guy wanted to kill a troglodyte. Troglodyte. Yeah.
Troglodyte?
Troglodyte with the rifle there for that part
And
that we're
those
talking
guys
about.
pop out of nowhere. They pop
That's
out of
cool.
You
nowhere.
don't even see them. That's because they have like all that mud on them that kind of blends in with the ground.
They literally
The dirt.
pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys did David Midthunder play? Do we know?
He's credited as misshapen troglodyte.
So just for you listeners, we often send audition. His wife is wife.
His wife,
Yeah.
His
Angelique
wife is a
Midthunder.
casting director, but
New
has
Mexico.
also done some acting, right?
She's done some act, and their daughter is in the show Legion on FX.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
So we've been to her plays and sent some auditions through her and stuff. And her husband plays one of these,
Troglodyte.
one of the troglodytes.
Troglodytes,
But I
yeah.
can't. It said like deformed troglodyte or something like
It
that. I
said
thought.
misshapen.
or misshapen. Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought this was shot in New Mexico, because you
Yeah.
have like so many, like David Midthunder. What's the guy Zahn McClarnon,
Well,
who was in Longmire down there, and was in Midnight Texas.
Midnight
which shoots
Texas
down there.
And yep.
They said they were looking at New Mexico and Utah.
Yeah, they
but
said
they
that.
ended up in Southern California, like 90 miles outside of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
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 Which is crazy because when you watch the featurette, like it really feels like they're in the middle of nowhere.
Really? Yeah.
And you cut to the reverse on the behind the scenes, and there's like all the city and road behind it. And you're like that was so
Yeah,
well done.
it's
Well,
So-
same with the town when they were
built
shooting
the
that.
town.
You can see the town there
Yeah.
when they do the aerial, but then like literally right next to it is all their crew trailers
Yeah.
and stuff like
I think
that.
the closest city was
You're
like Malibu or something, but they were like 90 miles outside of LA and like 20 miles from like Malibu. They were
Yeah.
in the middle of
They-
nowhere still.
They did
But
a great job making
Yeah.
it look, because it doesn't feel like there's only one shot. There was one shot where I was like, okay, those feel like Southern California mountains. in the background.
Yeah.
When they're leaving, right at the very end, when they're leaving, you see that kind of rolling hill where there's no trees on it.
Yeah.
You're like, that's Southern California.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't feel like New Mexico, but
Yeah.
but it feels very New Mexico.
it does feel New Mexico
But I
like.
guess they don't ever say where they're at in the movie,
No, they
right?
don't.
No,
So,
Bright Hope.
Bright Hope.
Yeah.
yeah, Bright Hope. We don't know where the fuck that's at.
Yeah. David Midthunder played the lead Indian in Hostiles that I just watched. The guy that kills.
Which is
yeah.
Don't
shot
give
in
anything
New
away.
Yeah, I won't give anyone away. Yeah.
Kills what? Christian Bale dies?
He kills some people in it.
Ted Hardy.
Yeah, but he has like the red face paint on with like half red, half black, and he's like the lead guy, the lead Indian in
Does he have any
Hostiles.
lines? Are they all in Indian?
He yells a couple
Whatever.
times.
I don't know what the...
Yeah,
That's offensive.
he speaks English.
I don't
in
know
it.
what...
Are they Apache? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hostiles. I don't know.
Yeah, but that was filmed in New Mexico, and this is very. I actually relate Hostiles to Bone Tomahawk because it kind of starts off a little bit slow. In the beginning, there's some crazy shit that happens, which is like this, and then it like is slow. Where Christian Bale is taking this Indian chief from New Mexico all the way to Montana, and there's like 4 nights of camping, and then getting up and riding the horse. And this is kind of how Bone Tomahawk is too. They set up camp, shit happens on like the way, and eventually reach their destination, which in Hostiles is Montana, and Bone Tomahawk they reach the Troglodytes cave.
Do they split someone down the middle from the groin?
That's pretty brutal.
No, but Hostiles
and
pretty.
Do they put a searing hot flask into someone's gut?
No, they do not. This is a little more
pretty
gruesome,
intense.
a little more gory. Let's talk about those parts there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the effects were amazing. I thought I thought they did a great job.
I thought the effects were better on this than they actually were on Cell Block.
In Brawl.
Brawl.
Yeah, I think in Brawl they were, especially the last shot. But
That last shot was a good one.
I think they were like meant to do that.
A little cheese.
Yeah, I think I think the last shot in Brawl and Cell Block they fully meant to do. I really do. I was watching reading a couple things about it, and they were like, especially that last shot, they wanted to use a dummy. They wanted to make it really grindhousey.
That 70s grindhouse that that we see in like Halloween.
I am just gonna
Friday the 13th.
small little. I know we've been on a while here, but I just want to like small side tangent on Brawl because
Should we just transition to what else we've seen?
because I fucking love Brawl.
You like
and
Brawl
Cell
more.
Block. I might like Brawl more.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just watched this again though.
They're both great.
You know what? I feel like they're really similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
It's
Just
like
the feel of it.
It's like Kurt Russell and Patrick Wilson are both like they're combined to be Vince Vaughn's character.
Yeah.
And it's like it kind of kicks off, and then it's like this slow, and then it's like boom.
Yeah.
Well, I think
It is.
what it is about S. Craig Zoller about both these films that I love so much. I think it's just because I've seen movies, I've seen gory shit, I've seen arms snap,
so
I've
many.
seen whatever, but it's never been like presented this brutally before,
Like this raw
like
cut.
this matter of factly, like this raw,
like in real life situations.
yeah.
Like when you see crazy shit in the movie, you're like, oh, you're expecting crazy shit. But here you're like, oh my gosh, these are cannibals, and they just ripped him in half.
Yeah.
And there's like music to intensify it happening and like big sound effects.
It's just happening. It's like if you were just in the room and that was happening, and that's it. It's
brutal,
And so I just don't think it's been presented like this. So I will never look at Vince Vaughn the same way again. He fucking killed it.
I love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Well,
Me too.
Swingers is awesome, but he actually did a movie a long time ago called A Cool Dry Place, which is like an old film where he actually acted.
Really?
Yeah, like before the Swingers, or like it was after Swingers, but like before Maid and all that stuff.
That is not
in
Rob's.
his like comedic stuff.
That is not Rob's taint ever.
No.
Ever.
His taint.
Cool Dry Place.
Yeah, Cool Dry Place.
Oh,
Never.
yeah. It's always sweaty.
Not right now, especially
Especially
now.
now.
He's in the South. He's working.
Yeah. And
Anyways,
Clay
really sweaty up there, Rob.
You ever saw Clay Pigeons? That was a really cool Vince Vaughn movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this thriller kind of detective story where he's this murderer and like Janine Garofalo is trying to find him.
He kind of started off with the more serious thriller, like suspenseful movies. I mean, he was in the remake of Psycho, which I know it's like the exact remake of the original, but
It's an homage.
Yeah.
Homage. I now
Playing
like
Norman
right
Bates.
now. This probably won't be my whole life, but when someone asks you that question, like, who would you, if you were going to be in a movie, who would you want to be in a movie? Like right now for me, fucking Vince Vaughn in Brawl and Cell Block.
Yeah.
Like that would be my dream role, is to
Yeah,
fucking play
that would
Vince
be
Vaughn
badass.
in Brawl and Cell Block.
that would be sick.
That would be
He doesn't
awesome.
say a lot.
He doesn't. No.
He just beats
He's
the
a
shit out of
man
people.
of action.
Yep.
Danny wants to, and doesn't show a lot of emotion.
And just beats the shit out of
doesn't
people.
show, just
And
beats
a
the
car.
crap out of people.
And a car. And that's a pretty sweet Trans Am.
Yeah.
That's a badass
fucking just
Trans Am.
rips the hood off and throws
Rips
it.
the hood right off.
And is that the guy, his friend? Is he in others? I sort of recognize him, but I can't pinpoint.
His
he almost looks like
friend?
that shoots the guy in the car at the end.
Oh yeah. He looks familiar.
Right. A guy that played Gil.
Yeah, the guy that played Gil.
Mark Blucas.
Lucas, yeah.
He looks sort of familiar, but I just don't know.
Night and Day, Underground, Buffy.
Really, nothing.
Not much.
He looks a little familiar.
Underground. He looks kind of familiar.
Buffy the series. I think it's because he sort of looks like the main guy in Buffy.
Angel.
Or Angel. Yeah. He looks like. What the fuck is the guy's name?
David
in Buffy?
Boreanaz.
Yeah. I think he sort of looks
Oh
like
yeah,
him.
he does
done
actually
stuff
look like
here and
him.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Nathan Fillion.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's done
He's not
just
in-
kind of stuff here and there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was curious.
Jennifer Carpenter rocking it.
Yeah.
Carpenter. I only really know Carpenter from Exorcism of Emily Rose. I haven't really.
I love.
Yeah, that movie scared
Oh
the
my
shit out
god,
of me.
dude!
I watched
Exorcism
that.
of Emily Rose was
That
awesome.
movie almost got me late. I watched it in theaters with the girl, and she's like, "Can you stay the night?"
And you didn't?
No, she was big dick tease, big ol'
Oh yeah.
big DT.
And that's funny. It almost got you later. It almost got me back into the Catholic Church.
Oh,
Two very different.
it was scary. I saw it
made
in
me-
theaters.
I was
Did
like
you
a
see it in
believer.
theaters?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was scary, and I was like, I don't really want to go. I was with this group. They're like, let's go. And like, it was one of those classic times where everybody wants to see it and you don't, and we leave. And I was like, that was amazing, and they all hated it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and she was perfectly cast. 'Cause she's she can be weird looking,
Yeah.
She's wiry,
but she can look good too.
Yeah.
And then what else? She was in Dexter too, I think.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Carpenter.
She,
She was in Dexter.
I
and-
think after watching that, I maybe woke up a couple times at whatever it is, 3 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
an hour.
and
311? No, it's not 311.
Exorcism of Emily Rose, or 314, 315, 314. Yeah.
It's the
Amber is the
witching
color
hour.
of my energy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go.
311.
You're 311 from
311.
Nebraska.
I used to listen to 311 back in the day.
So as yeah, oh yeah, me too.
A little bit.
I remember that shirt that you had.
I had a long sleeve.
Yeah. Oh, the long sleeve,
That I
but
wore
you
under
were
a
a
short
short sleeve over it. Yep. So
I don't think I did actually, but maybe.
So as Craig
I wore a
Zeller's
311 long sleeve under a corn short sleeve.
Oh god. And it was XXL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, two sizes bigger.
With your Jinko jeans.
Too big for you.
Yes. Yeah. Skunks.
Yeah, skunks
Yeah.
or twin cannons.
Yeah.
Did we talk about S. Craig Zeller's new film, his next one?
Not yet.
Yeah. No.
Dragged Across Concrete.
Danny's in. You don't have to talk about
Oh,
it.
I'm in.
Danny's
I'm
all in.
I'm watching every movie he comes out
So
with.
Dragged Across Concrete is his newest film coming up in 2018, starring Mel Gibson, Jennifer Carpenter, and Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, he likes
and,
working with
and
them.
Laurie Holden is in it, and Don Johnson's in it.
Oh, yeah. Don Johnson killed it, by the way.
I thought he did a
Ido
really good
Kier's
job.
in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fred Malamed, who played the bartender in Bone Tomahawk, is in it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so he works with a lot of same actors. It looks like.
Yeah.
So.
They must just do. Maybe they're still all under agreement that they're doing day rate because they love his shit.
Yeah.
when it works, it works.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
So-
I'm all on board though.
You're in.
I'm in.
Last thing.
Well, I have like
I
one
wanna
more
talk
thing
about.
too, or two more
I'll do
things.
one, then you go.
Okay. You go.
I really, it sounds kind of cheese, sounds like super film nerdy, but the cinematography was pretty awesome for low
yeah.
budget. Like they
I
got
loved
that
it.
classic, like when they leave Hope, they leave the town and they're riding on their horses in the open range.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got that.
They had like
got
two
that
or three
cool
of
look.
those like
that tombstone
tracking
feel.
shots
Yeah.
where they must have been on something next to them.
That's the
going.
shot in the behind the scenes where you see the reverse and they're like, it's a road. It's like a road. And so they've got like that crazy like truck car thing, which has the full jib arm. And they're just driving on the road next to them riding their horses.
But it was so smooth.
Yeah.
I
It
guess
was
maybe the road was
awesome.
smooth.
I
don't
saw
know.
in the featurette
Awesome.
they saw how they shot that with the car
Yeah.
going down. Yeah.
No, I actually on the second time watching it took note of. I think it was like two. I think one was slower and one was faster,
Yeah.
and they were both.
They were
The
cool.
slower one was even more epic. I thought, where they're just trotting along and he like checks his pocket watch or whatever and like
Yeah.
puts it back. Yeah, they were epic
Yeah.
shots.
It's like this car. They use this car a lot for car commercials because it's got this jib arm and it can go full 360. And so
Okay.
that's when you see like the car driving and then it pans out and you realize you're
That's
on the
what they're
road.
using.
They're using that car.
yeah.
It's like this
I wonder how
crazy
much that
car
rental is.
It's expensive.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's part of the 1.8 million because it
Yeah.
didn't go to Kurt Russell.
it didn't go to
They
Kurt Russell. It didn't go to Patrick Wilson.
They didn't do, and they probably didn't do this because it's no, it doesn't have. I guess cinematography doesn't have a lot to do with time period, but they didn't. They didn't do a lot of like drone shots to make it look,
Right.
Yeah.
No,
it
I
was,
like
it was
that,
up
though.
close, personal.
So that's why I liked it. It was
Well,
yeah.
that plays to the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
It's not going to have any overhead shots because that doesn't have the feel of a Western.
yeah.
You want that shot of them riding and that you seeing. Then that's the
Yeah,
other good.
just
That's
seeing the
other
landscape
good
and
Richard Jenkins
everything.
line. I know this world is around, but
Oh yeah.
I swear it's flat from this angle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or around here, that doesn't seem like it, or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, we can.
And then Matthew Fox, all right, old timer, old cowboy. All right.
I know the world's supposed to be round, but I'm not so sure about this part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chicory.
He was really the perfect amount of comedy relief in this movie, especially like
quit talking
when he looks through the German for the first time, and he's like,
what?
He's like, oh,
So clear.
God, it's like, wish I had this at the rodeo.
I wish I had this at the rodeo.
Oh my God.
And then Kurt Russell's
give
like,
it a damn.
what do you see? What do you see? Come on, hurry.
Yeah,
God.
he just really was the perfect amount of
That's cool.
Of
It's good.
comic relief.
So there was two parts. There was one thing that I was going to say. So when Deputy Nick gets his leg split and down the middle, in the Prime version, the Amazon Prime version I saw, the next thing that happens after that, they see the troglodyte that's eating his leg like a drumstick, which is pretty brutal. But in the Voodoo version that I actually watched last night, they cut that part out for some reason. I don't know.
Him eating the
of
leg
him
like a
eating,
drumstick?
eating the leg.
Huh.
So I went back, like, where the hell was that part? And I went back on my computer to look at it on Prime. Voodoo streamed, and I was in bed, so I just paid $2 and watched it because I didn't want to hook my computer up, and
First world problems.
and I don't have the Amazon Prime stick, so so I'm like, where was that part? So I looked on it in Amazon Prime, like, oh, it is on the Prime, but it's not on
That's weird.
this other
They
streaming
edited.
device.
Well, because Voodoo's big in Walmart, right?
Yeah,
Walmart
is it?
likes to edit.
yeah. So I was like,
Okay.
what the fuck, dude?
'Cause
They left the
part.
wishbone in, but they couldn't have him eating the leg.
Yeah,
I wonder if that
the
creeps, does that
wishbone.
creep Rob out? The wishbone sound?
I don't. It's only the Grudge.
That does the grudge. But like that.
Yeah,
That sound is creepy. That
Patrick
Well, it
Wilson
almost
cuts
sounded
the
like a
cuts it out of his throat.
didgeridoo at parts at the
Yeah.
beginning.
I mean,
Well, that's what you like about it. It's that sound.
Yeah, I think that if there's a part of horror in this movie, that's where it comes
That's it.
from. Is that sound
That
in the middle of the night?
eerie sound.
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that sound back in Hope.
Yeah, the night that they.
The night that they took
I'm
me
fairly certain I heard that on the night in Bright Hope. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
night
so
of the
good.
kidnapping. or
The night of
whatever.
the kidnapping.
But that I
shall.
just like that detail. That noise that they put in there is just perfect. And
And
yeah.
Arthur, Patrick Wilson, was so smart. He killed one of the troglodytes and just cuts it out of his
And
throat.
I wonder how that is.
That was gruesome,
They must
him
like
cutting that thing
insert it
out.
in there at childhood or something, or they must somehow. Who knows?
No, they cut out their vocal cords or something. I mean, you don't hear
Yeah,
them ever
nobody
talk.
talks.
Yeah, no, they don't talk.
And that's what. Yeah, that's the horror sound for sure. And then he draws them near towards him. He brings them in and attracts them towards him with that sound, and then kills them. That's how he kills them. He kills like 5 of them.
Yeah.
So he's smart, very
Crippled
smart.
Patrick, and I did like the fact that this tribe was basically untouched by civilization, even though they're it's probably 1800 or something, or a little bit later, even in
1890
1890.
to 1905.
So they should have. So like
Western
they
times.
should have known how to use a gun. They should have
Right.
known that. But it's in this movie they don't even know to fear guns. They
That's
just
kind of my whole
Yeah.
of like how close are they to Bright Hope?
yeah.
Why
Yeah.
haven't they gone in there
They're
before?
like 4 days away.
Who have they been feasting on before?
Yeah.
Just each other.
You see all those skulls. Well,
the
and they.
weird pregnant ladies at the end.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
bound
yeah.
and blinded, and
That's creepy.
Yeah.
maybe they're impregnating them and
They are.
eating the babies that come out or something.
I don't know. I mean, or leaving some of them to.
Yeah.
If it's a girl, they eat it. If it's a guy, they leave it. Maybe
There you go.
I don't know.
See, that was.
But
that
a baby
was,
can't last them that long.
Yeah. Speaking of them, not, yeah, you're right. That's like one bite to them. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was another comedic part where the troglodyte's trying to reload the gun, and because he shoots Kurt Russell's arm, then he wants to shoot him in the crotch area, and he can't reload the gun.
Yeah.
And then Richard Jenkins in the background, oh, idiot, can't even figure out how to reload the gun, or so he says something like that.
Troglodytes had a real thing for going for the junk.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Must be a tender spot
Yeah.
for good eating.
Good, yeah.
Like foie gras.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always pay extra for that
foie
shit.
gras. Oh, like
pay extra
For
like $30
Rocky
bucks.
Mountain oysters and foie gras.
I've never had Rocky Mountain oysters.
You've never had Rocky
No.
Mountain oysters?
I think I have.
Cow balls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Steer,
if
steer balls.
Steer balls.
Cow balls?
Steer balls. Well, same thing.
deer, bah.
Steerba.
Sorry,
Steerba.
that's from
Who's that from?
Howling 2 or
Howling
something.
too. Yeah,
yeah.
Steerba.
Horrible movie.
Oh god, this
Steerba.
blows that out of the water.
Guy setting a net on the. I can't even go back to it.
Bone Tomahawk.
Anyways,
it's
Bone
good.
Tomahawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little slow
Yeah,
for me.
give us
personally.
your take on it. Yeah,
Little slow.
Okay.
It kept me. The first time I watched it, I was totally engaged the whole time. And then I will admit, on my second watch, in like the middle, like beginning, I was sort of checking my phone and shit. So
Little slow. I acting was great.
Yeah.
Story was great. Dialogue was great. Authentic. Enjoyed it. Just a little slow for me.
Yeah, it's
Just a little. But you're right. I mean, that's his style.
yeah.
No, it's slow burn. No score. Very little score. Hardly any soundtrack.
exactly.
Mostly dialogue. All ambient. I mean, I dig it. I like the style of it.
Yeah.
Just a little
Yeah,
slow.
and most of the movie was them like camping, set up camp, moving along, and it
Cold camp. Gonna turn this into a cold,
Yeah.
Cold camp.
starts off like really high pace with them slitting throats and David Arquette, and then
For 2 seconds.
slow burn.
Yeah.
And that's how it was for me the first time I watched it. But then
It's good though.
it is good, and that's kind of how Cell Block is too. A
Cell
little
Block,
bit,
very
yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
And poorly named.
It is very poorly named. That's a horrible movie name.
What
Brawl
would
and
you?
Cell Block
What would
99.
you? What would you title Brawl and Cell Block 99?
I don't even offhand. I don't even
Offhand.
really.
Bone Tomahawk's a good name.
Bone
I
Tomahawk's
think.
a
Oh,
great
I love
name.
Bone
Yeah.
Tomahawk. Oh,
Just Cell Block 99, maybe.
How about just Brawl?
Maybe just
Brawl's not
Brawl.
bad.
Yeah.
Brawling. Roadhouse.
Brawl.
Brawl.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Maybe just Brawling.
Even I don't know.
Brawl
It's just-
Cell Block.
Brawl like he was like Righteous Brawl. Now it does sound like an 80s movie.
It
now.
does.
Righteous Brawl.
Righteous Brawl.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of righteous.
So maybe something having to do with like a journey because he has to go on this. He goes
Yeah.
between 2 prisons and this whole thing. I don't even know. But
Yeah.
not Brawl and Cell Block 99. I don't know what it
It's
would have
not
been like.
because you're waiting, and the Cell Block 99 is
Yeah.
the very very end.
It's the very
Yeah.
end. It's
Yeah.
it's the one he's trying to get to. Yeah.
That's a little much.
yeah.
And there obviously
Yeah.
is a brawl at the end, but
Right.
But when you think like
Brawl.
Cell Block Brawl, you think like fucking
Huge
Like tons of
brawl.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I was
going
kinda,
at it.
I was kind of wondering when the Cell Block Brawl was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it ended up in like a mid 1700s dungeon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That was
coulda-
It
crazy.
was a little odd.
Yeah.
You could have maybe like
Dug out.
maybe something with dungeon,
Handmade.
Dungeon.
like Death Dungeon.
Dungeon Brawl.
Now it's a nerdy 80s
That
movie.
is a
Dungeon
it
Brawl.
is.
Dungeon.
Murder in the dungeon.
Murder.
These are getting worse. They're getting worse.
That stars Leonardo DiCaprio, that one.
Yes, murder in the
Like a bad
dungeon.
Iron Man in the Iron Mask.
Man,
Yeah.
Iron Mask. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just want to call her Brawl and Cell Block
Dungeons
99.
and-
I wouldn't call it Brawl and Cell Block.
Dungeons and dragging his face on the ground.
Dragging.
Dragons. Dungeon and dragging.
Well, I'm not holding my breath, but I did look up Craig's on IMDb and shoot an email to. It lists his management as that Dallas Sonier, who is a producer of Bone Tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I don't know. That's sort of weird. Saying we would love to interview him if you would want to.
Be awesome.
I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. You never know.
He's an interesting guy. He was a musician too. He did all the score on this.
Yeah.
he's an
yeah,
author,
He wrote
yeah.
another guy, I think it said.
Author,
Yeah.
writer, screenwriter, director. He did the music on it. Yeah, there's like 2 songs in the whole thing. He
Yeah, the
did
only
both.
thing I can even pinpoint in my head is when there's some dramatic music when I think it's when Patrick Wilson is by himself now coming to meet them.
There's a tiny
There's like
piece
some
right
orchestration right there that's actually pretty cool.
there. You're
Well,
right.
Yeah.
right when they leave on horses to go find Arthur's wife and Nick, there's the orchestrated like music that you hear like right as they're leaving
Okay.
too.
All right.
So I think it's
A
the
little
same
bit, but
one.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did that. He
Yeah.
he scored it.
I wonder, is that him like on a synthesizer then you think? Or is that.
Yeah, probably.
Or is that him sort of coming up with the melody and then having. I don't know if they had the budget
Having
to
someone
have
else
a
do
little
it. Just
quartet
Tim,
do it
yeah,
or
with
something.
his big
Yeah, they said
synthesizer doing it.
Jeff Harriet and S. Craig Zoller were the music, so maybe Jeff Harriet just helped him with it, and he had the idea and something. So
Pretty awesome.
yeah,
Well,
One man show.
I loved it. Yeah,
And you guys watch anything else this week?
You know, I caught the end of Nut Job 2.
What?
Yeah.
I've never even knew
Nut
there was a
Job.
Nut Job
That's a
1.
kids movie.
Kids. Oh yeah,
okay,
of
all right,
course. Nut
Right,
Job.
Nut Job.
All right.
I was thinking it was something
I
sexual.
thought it was a porn.
Cell Block, Brawl and Cell Block 99 and Bone Tomahawk for me. this week.
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't revisit the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. I watched more Ash vs Evil Dead, and so just a couple episodes because it's only like 25 minutes long, and I actually it's not really a horror, but I watched Game Night last night with Liz.
Is that good?
It was good. Yeah,
It's like a murder.
There's a lot of
right?
blood in it. Actually,
I'll have
it's
to
really
check that
gory.
out.
Yeah, there's
I heard it was good.
radar and
It's in the
yeah.
theaters.
Yeah, so I saw that with Liz last
Oh,
night.
you went
and-
to the theater?
Yeah, last night.
All right.
Fucking Jesse Plemons is in that again too. God, he's in everything now.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
Who's
I know
he?
Jesse Plemons.
He's in Black Mass, and he's in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, he was Todd in Breaking Bad.
And he's Todd in Breaking Bad, and
the
he's
guy
in
that
Game
kills
Night.
the kid.
He's in Hostiles. He's in one of the main guy in
He is
Hostiles.
blowing up.
He is
So-
he's good though. He's
Yeah.
good in Breaking
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, he is. I slacked this week. Well, what happened is actually coming up on one of the bonus episodes. If you guys haven't noticed, we've been doing like 2 episodes a week, releasing them because we've decided to release all our Patreon interviews to the public because we just don't have a lot of Patreon members and we think they should be heard. So, so actually, instead of watching, I'm reading this book, horror anthology book, because I'm going to be interviewing the editor. So
Cool.
So I've been reading like a chapter a night of these horror stories. That it's called Devil in the Deep, and they're all horror stories of the sea. And it's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll look for that interview coming up. So instead of watching movies, I've been reading.
What is that?
Yeah,
Reading, yeah.
reading.
We do the audiobooks.
I do audiobooks.
Yeah.
I was reading. I did watch Coco with Shannon.
Coco.
That's a kid's movie.
I've heard it's amazing, but I have not watched it.
Yeah,
yet.
a good
I'm-
movie.
I'm
It's a
sure you
kid's
will
movie.
with the kiddos
I,
stuff.
I need to.
She wanted me to watch it.
I hear it's
so,
awesome. I should watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, we did watch. No. I watched sort of horror. It's more of a mystery. I watched Wind River on Netflix with Jeremy Renner.
Oh, okay. I've
I
seen.
don't know if you remember that.
I've
it came
seen
out.
that.
Jeremy Renner and
preview for that.
the Indian guy that's in everything. He was in The Twilights, and he's in. God, what else is he in? I don't know. He's in a lot, but Wind River. It's like a mystery thriller. And,
Graham Greene plays
Graham
Ben.
Greene. Yeah. That's okay. You recognize him?
Good cast. Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, he's like the Indian guy that everyone calls on.
Jeremy
Surprised he
Renner.
wasn't in Bone Tomahawk. So, yeah, there's some others in it I can't recall at the moment, but the girl's recognizable. I forgot her name.
Olsen or Kelsey Asbiel is the lead, but Elizabeth Olsen's in it. She's in.
She's
Witch something in Avengers.
she's an Olsen twin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not a twin. She's one of the Olsens though.
Oh, so she's not one of the twins, but
No.
she's like a younger sister or
She's
older.
younger than the twins.
Oh,
Older.
younger. I don't know.
It's really weird because
She's a sister of the twins, but she's not a twin.
it's really weird because in Wind River
yeah,
she
yeah.
plays like an FBI agent, and I don't think she seems a little young,
little young.
to be playing an FBI agent.
Yeah.
But she does a good job. So, Wind River, check it out Netflix. I do like Jeremy Renner.
Was it good?
So it was
I like
good.
Renner.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think that's it though. I think that's all I had. So
Word.
Cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
John, thanks for joining
for
us.
having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for Bone Tomahawk.
I'll have
You guys
to-
watch
Oh,
it.
Tomahawk.
Boom,
Yes.
Tom. We'll have to get you back on one of these times. Denver hashtag Denver Airhorn.
Hashtag Denver Airhorn.
Denver Airhorn.
Hashtag Deborah Aaron.
Yeah, and make sure that you follow us at Danny Bonin, at Scotty Bonin, at the Rob O'Neill on Twitter, at Rocket Joe.
At Rocket Joe.
ROCKETTJO.
J.O.
Joe
Joe.
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
I don't just disclosure. I don't do a lot of horror tweets.
Yeah.
I think I do funny tweets.
Yeah.
I try.
I don't ever tweet, and so I don't know why. I need to start
I
tweeting.
tweet from time to time, too.
I'm waiting for you guys to follow me because that's my logic, but I think it actually works the other way. I think you have to start tweeting for people to follow you, but I'm like, there's no one really follows me, so I just never fucking tweet. But now I should switch that up.
Got to start.
You can add me on Facebook, even though no one uses that anymore.
Nobody.
I hope they do because that's how
on
we run our
Facebook.
business. But
Yeah. Facebook,
They let you back
Chats,
on? You're on?
Snapgrams.
yeah, I had to change my last name to just B-E-E, Danny B. Scotty is not back on.
I'm going through my wife's Facebook right
Scotty's
now.
not back on.
Yeah.
It's all
Elizabeth
right.
Bonin,
We
if you want to
target-
reach me through there.
For our boring day job, we target like mostly women 34 and up. So I don't know if they're leaving Facebook.
What kind of day job is this?
It's this younger generation. It's products like the anal trainer.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
That was in the pre-show.
Yeah, pre-show. Oh, it wasn't the pre-show.
If you guys want to learn about that,
you guys want to hear about
check
anal
out the
trainers
Patreon.
and some other shit in the pre-show. We talked about it, so get on Patreon.
That's a good tease right there.
So definitely, if you want to
Very good
support what
tease.
we're doing, go to patreon.com/cultclassichorror and give what you can. We got a bunch of levels there with some awesome things you can get in return for supporting us. Check us out at CC Horror on Twitter, at Cold Classic Horror on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Word.
Bone Tomahawk. Next week. What do we do
And
next week?
I know
All right,
we
but
always.
hold on. Are we retiring Bone Tomahawk saying it?
Wow, we'll probably still talk about it a little
say
bit.
it.
We'll
Yeah,
we'll
we're
talk
still
about Bone
gonna talk
Tomahawk
about it a
still.
little bit.
Yeah.
So
Just want to know what I'm in store for.
Yeah.
yeah. And
It'll still be here.
we didn't even mention it. I mean, because John's sitting right here, but we keep talking about this fabled CCH original film that's supposed to come out at some point.
It's
And
coming.
it is
It's
coming down the
Oh,
pipeline.
yeah. Just like this script. It
But
was
I'm
written in
just-
2007.
I'm just taking the opportunity because John is going to be one of the directors of
Yes.
this film.
Yes.
And so
Heck yes.
it's in the pipeline. The script is almost done.
The script is looking
The
good.
location's there.
Location is good.
The casting
big
isn't
size.
done, but it's
It's
done.
not done, but it's looking good.
yeah. So
All of
it's in
the pieces are in
pipeline.
place.
It's a lot of work,
Pipeline.
man.
Yeah, it
People
is a lot
don't
of work.
realize.
Well,
Yeah.
just like
A lot
Zoller
of
said
effort.
with this, he wrote the script in 2007 and then
Yeah, I actually
casted
feel
it
good when I hear things like that because we've only been working on the script for like maybe a year now. This one that we're on.
This one,
yeah.
It's
So,
gone through a couple story.
changes.
Yeah, a couple
Changes,
couple plot
iterations.
changes. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. Some people have asked why there's not a Patreon level that has to do with the film, but I just want to. Well, we're probably going to do some kind of a Kickstarter thing for that.
Yeah.
That you can be a part of that if you want some cool shit from the film. So keep you updated on that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We don't know what we're doing next week yet, so
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
We'll
It'll be a surprise.
We'll probably tackle another franchise. We haven't done like Leprechaun. We haven't done
Scream.
Scream.
What
We
about
haven't done-
Critters?
We haven't done
Critters.
Critters. Yeah.
Yep.
Or we could cover some classics. Go back to
Yeah,
maybe
just-
the Universal monsters.
Just
or
some one-offs and
Universal
stuff.
Monsters
Hammer
would be a good
films.
one.
Yeah.
So we'll converse.
Or you could go Dracula films. Start with Nosferatu.
Yes,
Dracula.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
Good old
That'd be good too.
Gary Oldman in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Cordell.
Yeah, Cordell.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.
Laters.
Don't you blame the movies? Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.